Welcome to our channel Physics for Beginners. First we take a small review on the last lecture. In the last lecture we already studied motion of simple pendulum as a linear simple harmonic motion. And from that we obtain expression for period of simple pendulum by using concept of linear SHM. So when bob moves through the angle theta, which is large, then the path traced by the bob is a curve path. So it performing angular SHM. But we put some restriction on the displacement of the bob, that is on amplitude. If amplitude of oscillation is very small, it means that angular displacement of the bob is small. At that time, the path traced by the bob is a straight line, and from that we prove restoring force directly proportional to displacement and oppositely directed, and from that we obtain an expression for acceleration per unit displacement, and from that we obtain the formula for period of simple pendulum, that is T is equal to 2 pi square root of capital L divided by small g. So T is equal to 2 pi square root of L divided by small g. So capital T is period of simple pendulum. Capital L length of simple pendulum. Let M is mass of bob and A is amplitude. Of oscillations. So T is equal to 2 pi square root of L by G, where T represent period of simple pendulum. Capital L represent length of simple pendulum. M represent mass of bob of simple pendulum, and capital A represent amplitude of oscillations. So T is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon G. Now we have to obtain relation for frequency of oscillation. We know that frequency related to period by the relation. Frequency is inversely proportional to period of oscillation. So we can write N is equal to 1 divided by capital T. That is frequency of oscillation inversely proportional to period of oscillation. Or you can also write or period of simple pendulum or period of motion inversely proportional to frequency of oscillation. So when we put the value of T, we can obtain formula for frequency. Frequency is equal to reciprocal of this equation. So 2 pi is at numerator, right at denominator. So 1 upon 2 pi, I can interchange the position. So we get this relation. So frequency of oscillation N is equal to 1 upon 2 pi into square root of small g divided by capital L. Now we have to study laws of simple pendulum. So in this case we have to study which factors affects period of simple pendulum. So here we have to count 4 factors. The period of simple pendulum may affect by length of simple pendulum, or acceleration due to gravity, or may due to mass of the bob, or due to amplitude of the oscillations. So what is the effect of length on the period of oscillation? So for that we have to consider all the terms in the equation which are variable treated as a constant. So when we study the first law which is related to length, it is called as law of length. When it is related to small g, it is law of acceleration due to gravity. When it is a m, then that law is called as law of mass. And a, that is amplitude, that is called as law of isochronous. Now first we have to consider law of length. Law of length. Now we have to study how the length of simple pendulum affects the period of simple pendulum. So we have to consider all the terms in the equation other than t and l. So only remaining term is small g, that is considered as a constant. So when 2 pi is constant, small g is constant, so value of 2 pi into square root of g is a constant. So we can write t is equal to constant into square root of l. And we know we can easily make a statement from that: t proportional to length, square root of length. And this law is called as law of length. So what is this statement? Where is the period of simple pendulum directly proportional to square root of length of the simple pendulum when acceleration due to gravity remains constant. This law is called as law of length. Now you have to consider the second law related with acceleration due to gravity, which is called as law of acceleration due to gravity. So here we have to keep the other terms other than t and g are constant. So here we have to keep L is constant. 2 pi is constant, so 2 pi into square root of L. Therefore 2 pi into square root of L is a constant. So we can write t is equal to 2 pi into square root of L divided by square root of g is equal to constant divided by square root of g. So product of t and square root of g is a constant. So we can say that the period of simple pendulum inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity when length of the simple pendulum kept constant, and this law is called as law of acceleration due to gravity. Now we have to consider the next law related with the mass, that is law of mass. Third law is law of mass. Now observe this equation. T is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. In this equation there is no term of the mass. So we can say that the period of simple pendulum only depend on these two factors and other factors are not responsible to change the period of simple pendulum. So we can say that the period of simple pendulum is independent on mass of the bob. So T is independent on mass of simple pendulum or mass of the bob. Now next law related with amplitude. There may be possibility that T may be increased or decreased due to change in amplitude. But there is no term involving amplitude in the formula of period of simple pendulum. So the period of simple pendulum is independent on amplitude of the oscillation, and this law is called as law of isochronous. That is, period of simple pendulum is independent on amplitude of oscillation. Amplitude of oscillation. So when the term is at a numerator, then use the word directly proportional to. When the term is at the denominator, then use the word inversely proportional to. Here L is at numerator, so T directly proportional to square root of the length. Here the term G is at denominator, so period of simple pendulum inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity. Now we have to consider the next topic, that is seconds pendulum. Seconds pendulum. Now seconds pendulum related with period of simple pendulum, and you already studied the period of simple pendulum. T is equal to 2 pi square root of L divided by G. So when we perform this experiment on the earth, the value of acceleration due to gravity is constant. G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So we can write like this: 2 pi into square root of L divided by square root of G is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of G into square root of L. 2 pi is a constant, value of G on the earth is constant, so the term 2 pi upon square root of G, this term is constant. So when this term is constant, which is in multiplication, so from this we can write T directly proportional to square root of length of simple pendulum, and this is already studied in the law of length. Now from this equation it is clear that, from this variation it is clear that as the length of simple pendulum increases, what will happen? T directly proportional to square root of the length, since there is a directly proportional relation. So when there is an increase in length, there is increase in the period of simple pendulum. When there is a decrease in length of the simple pendulum, there is a decrease in period of oscillation of simple pendulum. Now, the value of L is increased in a such a way that the period of simple pendulum becomes 2 seconds. So what will increase? Here increased in such a way so that what is the period? Period become 2 seconds. And when the period of simple pendulum become 2 seconds, that simple pendulum is called as seconds pendulum. Now we consider T is equal to 2 is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. So seconds pendulum having period of 2 seconds, so we define seconds pendulum. A simple pendulum having period of 2 seconds is called as seconds pendulum. So when we put the value of T is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by small g, so this 2 get cancelled. Now our aim is to obtain length of seconds pendulum on the earth. So we get the relation 1 is equal to pi into square root of L by small g. Our aim is to find length of simple pendulum, not to find its square root. So this square root can be easily removed since this is the equation. So when we take square on both sides, so what will get? Therefore 1 is equal to pi square into L divided by small g. So from this we can write L is equal to g divided by pi square. So length of seconds pendulum on the earth, L is equal to g divided by pi square. The value of N on the earth is, the value of G on the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. We know the value of pi. What is the value of pi? 3.142. Pi is equal to 3.142 and square, pi square means 3.142 square, and its value comes out to be 9.872. When we substitute the value of g upon pi square and simplified it, so L is equal to 9.8 divided by 9.872, and this value comes out to be 0.9927 in meter. So what is the length of simple pendulum? What is the length of seconds pendulum on the earth in SI unit? L is equal to 0.9927 meter. What is the length of seconds pendulum in CGS unit? So in CGS unit, this meter converted into centimeter by multiplying by 10 raised to 2. So we get L is equal to 99.27 centimeter. So this is nearly equal to 100. So length, in order to keep in mind, the length of seconds pendulum is nearly equal to 100, that is 99.27. For the remainder, we have to put this value, and this value is near to 100. So we can find length of seconds pendulum. Now as we move other planet, what is the length of seconds pendulum? Put the value of g on that planet and calculate. So we can also easily calculate length of seconds pendulum on other planet.